out, sure, we'll do that.
Okay, I'll do the speech.
Did you guys get a little message that I was recording it? Okay, good.
Buenas noches a todos, yo soy Nuria Lundberg y voy a ser su intérprete esta noche. Para poder ingresar a la sala, ustedes tienen que identificar el mundo color gris en la parte inferior derecha de su pantalla. Y bueno, tenemos con nosotros nuestros facilitadores o nuestros panelistas, que es el doctor Peter Kanapik. Él es nuestro superintendente adjunto de servicios educativos. También tenemos al doctor Robin Anders, que es nuestro director en instrucción tecnológica. Y Jennifer Goldenberg, que es nuestro profesor en asignación especial del distrito y también es coordinador de LD. Y bueno, una vez que yo ingrese a la sala ya no vamos a tener más contacto. Cualquier pregunta que tengan lo pueden hacer a través del chat y yo con mucho gusto les voy a traducir. Y bueno, espero que les guste mi interpretación esta noche.
Thank you, Nuria. And the funny thing is, you know what? Since I did this from like the personal meeting room, which is not personal because this is my Burbank Unified thing, but we don't have I don't have the ability to send you into separate rooms.
Ah, bueno, entonces sí voy a poder interactuar por aquí.
Okay. Yeah, so if somebody has questions in Spanish, Armenian, Russian, French, whatever, we can go ahead and pause and take questions or do short little summaries if people need it. So if you would like translation, please put it in the chat so that we know that we can be respectful of that and provide that for you. So I am putting a few things in the chat. They are the minutes from the last two meetings. So we have, oh, and you know what? I heard Nuria introduce me in Spanish. I've just skipped introductions. I'm so sorry.
Did I do it wrong? No.
No, you were right. I did it wrong.
Okay.
So, Peter, can you raise your hand? That's my boss, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. And Dr. Anders, Robin, where are you? Which square are you? Oh, there he is. He's our Director of Instructional Technology. And then we have Anush from Mirror, right?
Yeah,
There she
that's
is. Excellent. We have, let's see, Annette is from Emerson.
Hi, I'm from Emerson.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
And then Pablo, which site are you from?
I'm from Miller.
Nice. Look at the Hill Schools representing. That's awesome. And then Mona, we have Mona Slack from Burbank PTA Council. Then we also have Arpine Ovsepian, who's our ELD specialist. Tell us the three schools you're at.
At Emerson, Jefferson, and McKinley.
That's right. And then Kirsten Jackson is our other ELD specialist. And Kirsten, can you say what schools you're at?
I'm at Washington, Bret Harte, Providencia, and Disney, and I'm taking the minutes for this meeting as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Did you find the agenda in the shared folder, Kirsten? So you
Yeah,
can do
we're
the
all
minutes?
set.
Nice. You guys are awesome. Okay, and I am the district teacher on special assignment as ELD coordinator. Welcome to everyone. So on our agenda tonight, we will go over the agenda like right now. I put the minutes in the chat so people can read them. We'll spend the majority of our time on the LCAP, the Local Control and Accountability Plan, and Dr. Anders will be presenting that. We'll talk about the summative LPAC parent letter that I'll send out in January. We didn't have any unfinished or new business, and so we can go straight to committee reports after I do my summative LPAC thing. And we have Mona Sleck to update us on that. And then, of course, we have time at the end. If people have questions about things that are not on the agenda, we can address it then or as we go, which, you know, if something comes up, you have a question, just like raise your hand. And if I keep looking over here, it's because I have two screens and you're over there and the presentation's here. So I'm not playing games off on the side. So, oh, I see we have another parent rep. Astrid, yay.
Hello.
And Astrid, which I'm so sorry to like just throw you in there. We have three other parents. And Astrid, which school are you at now?
John Burroughs and Luther Burbank.
So cool. It's so good to see you.
Thanks.
Okay, excellent. So I still don't think we have what's it called? Quorum for to vote on the agenda. So we're just going to continue on with it. I know it's kind of weird to have to do that, but yes. So the minutes, I put them in the chat. I'll put them in one more time because if you come in after somebody put something in the chat, then you have no access to it. We reviewed September 14th last time. We actually can't like vote to adopt them or approve them or whatever because we need to have, I think, 7 parents. So maybe later maybe a few more people will come in later and then we can do that. So let's continue on. And so with the LCAP, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Anders. I need to stop screen sharing because he has a presentation he's going to use. And I need to give him, what's it called? I need to give you control.
Permissions.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I did that and then stop share. Okay.
Thank you. Well, welcome to all of our parent reps and staff. Tonight, I'm going to present a little bit on LCAP. We had our first meeting of this calendar year just in November. We are starting earlier than normal because we are on a 3-year cycle, and next year will be the start of a new 3-year plan. So we are in year 3 of our current LCAP plan. And we will be revising it going forward. Just a few overview items about the plan. Like I said, it is 3 years, and it includes district goals, actions, and services, as well as the expenditures associated with those services to really increase and improve student outcomes. The LCAP is an opportunity for us as a school district to share our stories of what and how our programs are working to provide services for our students. It's also a tool for us to set goals and action plans, to leverage resources and monitor, are we seeing improvements for students? Components of a plan, and that will be in the 24-25 plan, also in the current plan, is an overview for parents, specifically on the budget, a summary of the plan, educational partners and how we've engaged with them, goals and actions, and that's the meat of the plan of our district goals and how we strive to meet those. And then a portion called increased and improved services, which is the heart of the plan as far as addressing the needs of specific students in our schools. And I'll get into all of those specific items as we go through tonight. So starting a 3-year cycle means we must revise. It's an opportunity to revise and realign our goals as a district to state priorities and to our local vision. We can assign metrics to our goals, and those are to measure whether or not we're making progress towards our intended goals. Action items are how we are spending or using supplemental funds to move the direction towards our goals. So a lot of what we end up discussing when we talk about LCAP are action items and budgeting with the dollars we have for the plan. The creation of the LCAP must include input from educational partners, and that's you guys tonight, specifically our English learner parents. So I'm really happy to be here and really want to hear your input. As far as the 8 state priorities, these are guiding principles that we have to address as a district with the LCAP. And you can see the 8 items. A lot of them are sort of a repeat of what I've just said, but a couple that are on here that you may not have guessed is our student engagement and school climate. Those are items we need to address. Also parent engagement, how we can engage parents and make them partners in educating their children. And then course access, so really opening opportunities for all students. These are our current LCAP goals and our district board goals. So they're one and the same. What we use for the LCAP is also the board goals and district goals. And they're based around 4 key items. The first goal is really an academic goal of preparing students for college and career. The second goal is a whole child goal of supporting the whole child, whether that's physically, emotionally, mentally, outside of just academics. The third is to retain and recruit high quality staff. So we have some action items specifically geared towards our staff and their ability to be effective. And then the fourth one, which we don't actually have dollars budgeted for in the LCAP, but we fund in other ways, is to maintain effective operations and facilities. So those are our local 4 goals. So something to keep in mind about the LCAP is the supplemental budget. And that is the money that has to be spent through the plan, the LCAP plan. And so what I have here is identifying some subgroups of our total enrollment as a district. Then the next column at the top is our free and reduced meal program. So students who are have applied and received that benefit. Foster youth, homeless youth, English learners, and then this last column is our unduplicated count. And what unduplicated means is that students are counted once for our district, regardless if they may meet multiple categories. So we may have a student who's an English learner and also qualifies for free and reduced meals. We do not get to count that student twice. That student only counts once, but they qualify 2 different ways.
Robin, I'm sorry that I think that we have somebody who joined us who may need translation. Nuria, would you like to ask?
Gisela.
Sí.
¿Usted necesita que le traduzcamos o que que interprete para usted lo que
Sí,
está diciendo?
Sí, por favor.
Robin, Mrs. Hernandez would need to some translation, so you
Sure.
give me I'll follow your lead. Just if you can pause in between sentences.
Sure.
I just want to tell her what we're looking at. Barely,
Yeah.
Señora Hernández, mire, ahorita estamos viendo lo que es el plan de responsabilidad y control local, que es cómo se distribuyen nuestros presupuestos. Ahorita estamos iniciando un nuevo periodo porque es un plan a 3 años. Entonces, ahorita estamos empezando la etapa 1 de ese plan. Específicamente, nuestro coordinador de instrucción tecnológica, que es el doctor Robin Anders, nos está presentando el conteo de lo que son los pupilos que se conocen sin duplicar. Quiere decir que caen en estas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categorías, que son, perdón, 1, 2, 3, 4, son 4 categorías. Los que están en el programa de alimentos gratuitos y de precio reducido. También está la juventud en adopción temporal, los indigentes o sin hogar y los alumnos del inglés. Entonces ahorita nos está platicando cómo están las proyecciones a los siguientes 3 años. Nos presenta en la primera columna los totales y así sucesivamente. nada más le quería dar un breviario y el doctor Anders nos va a seguir platicando y va a tomar pausas para que yo le pueda traducir. I kind of briefly told her,
Muchísimas gracias.
sí, señora.
Y señora, ¿de qué escuela es usted?
De
Señor-
Providence,
Oh, Providencia.
sí,
Muy bien. Y bienvenidos. Okay.
gracias.
Robin, back to you.
Sure. Thank you. What is important to identify in these totals is that the number of total students changes year to year. So the supplemental budget isn't always the same. It changes. Sometimes we have more money, sometimes we have less. And we're preparing for next year that we will have less money, and we'll talk about that. But it's because of these numbers.
Bueno, aquí la cifra que tenemos que observar, and please, Jen, if I miss something, tell me. A los números a los que nos tenemos que enfocar es al total de estudiantes inscritos, porque en base a eso nosotros podemos hacer las proyecciones. Ahorita, si usted ve en la columna derecha, estamos hablando del conteo de estudiantes sin duplicar, que vamos a hablar más adelante, y vamos a ver que la tendencia es hacia la baja, porque han decaído las inscripciones. Did I miss something, Jen?
No, just the biggest point for all parents, and if we could, not the biggest, but one of the big takeaways for parents is if they could please, when they're talking at their ELAC meetings or going to PTA meetings, really encourage everyone to fill out a meal program application, because since it doesn't cost anything this year, the numbers seem to have gone down, but we still have the kids who need the extra support. You're on mute, Nuria.
Lo que está diciendo la señora Goldenberg es que por estas razones y otras más, es muy importante que llenemos las formas de, no sé si las ha visto, que son las de alimentos gratuitos y precio reducido, porque aunque haya disminuido las inscripciones, aún así los niños, especialmente esta categoría de niños protegidos, vamos a llamarlo así, y sin duplicar, necesitan aún gozar del privilegio de estos servicios y programas. Back to you, Robin.
Nuria, if I can add, the free reduced price meal application, the ones that are approved, they help us to get money from the government for LCAP and for Title I, and money for something called E-rate, which is for our technology. And there's other grants that we could qualify for, or money we can qualify for too, when we have approved applications. So it's really important that families complete an application. Sometimes people feel like they're not going to qualify, and it's based on the number of people in your household and then the amount of income in your house. So there's a formula that Food Services uses, and it's all private, it's all confidential, and that information is kept in that office. I only know, and like Dr. Anders would know, how many qualified, okay?
Otra cosa para complementar lo que le comenté, señora, es que el doctor Canapik quiere hacer un punto al respecto, es que a partir de estas aplicaciones nosotros recibimos los fondos gubernamentales para lo que es el plan que le platique el ELCAP, para no decirle todo el completo del ELCAP, lo voy a denominar ELCAP, y también lo que se conocen los fondos para título 1, que son las escuelas que tienen poblaciones, creo que son mayores no me acuerdo si es 20 alumnos, o no, 40 alumnos creo, me corregirá la señorita Goldenberg. Esas categorías de alumnos del inglés son las que califican como escuelas título 1. Por otro lado, la cantidad de alumnos o estas estas aplicaciones de alimentos nos permiten aplicar como distrito para lo que son las subvenciones. Entonces podemos recibir más fondos para estos programas. Entonces es muy importante que apliquemos. La forma como se clasifica esto es en función del número de personas que pertenecen a su hogar y también los ingresos que tienen familiares en total. Hay una fórmula, en la que se basa y es confidencial. Esto no tema que todos sus datos van a saber. El doctor Anders y el doctor Kanapik van a saber simplemente las cantidades de personas que aplicaron o fueron aprobadas. Entonces es muy importante llenarlas.
Okay.
Back to you, Robin.
Yeah, so this next slide is an update on our budget for this year. And a big difference that we're seeing is that as our staff gets more expensive, because most of the expenses in our plan are for people, for staff, those expenses have gone up. We have not increased the dollar amount that we're receiving from our funding source, the students. And
Bueno,
yeah, go ahead.
lo que estamos viendo aquí es el presupuesto de este año y aquí el punto crítico es la diferencia donde se marca la cantidad de el número que representa el personal. Y no es de que hayan aumentado la cantidad de personal, sino que se ha vuelto la plantilla de personal laboral se ha vuelto más cara, por llamarlo más específico, decirlo más específico. Entonces, estos no nos han, solamente han incrementado el precio de esos empleados, más no ha incrementado la cantidad de dinero que recibimos del gobierno que va en función de las inscripciones. Ok, Robin.
The other item that's different is we've had carryover from during COVID when we weren't spending monies or we had other funds that we used. So we were able to save money during COVID. That money is being spent down each year. So we had 3 million, 2 million, and at the end of this year, we're almost exhausting all of our carryover. So when we budget for next year, we'll have less money for next year's plan.
Aquí otro aspecto que también hay diferencias es en lo que se conoce como los fondos de traslado al siguiente ejercicio fiscal. Eso es una tendencia y es algo muy común en los planes. Y durante COVID nosotros teníamos esos fondos, es como nuestro fondo de ahorro, pero ya se está mermando, está yendo a la baja, por lo que el año entrante vamos a ver una disminución. Yes, Robin.
So the next series of slides is just looking at what's in this year's plan. And next time we meet, or next time we have an LCAP meeting in December, we will discuss in more detail these items and what is a priority, what we need to keep, and what are things we could maybe save money or spend less money on, and even look at things that we may not pay for or may no longer have in place.
Bueno, lo que vamos a ver en las diapositivas subsecuentes es el enfoque de este año del LCAP, porque en la siguiente junta, que será en diciembre, ahí vamos a ver cada rubro de estas diapositivas, en donde vamos a ver qué es prioritario, qué debemos de ahorrar, qué debemos de recortar o qué debemos de reforzar. Yes, Robin.
So I'm not going to read through all these, but I don't know, Neria, because it is in English, if it makes sense for you to describe some of these.
Whatever
But
your indications are.
In the
with
chat, I have posted 3 times these same documents. So if people could just download, like click on the thing in the chat and you can look at it in Armenian or
¿Usted puede ver en el chat las diapositivas? Porque las puede bajar y están en los 3 idiomas.
Sí, eso estaba viendo cuando usted me preguntó si necesitaba traducción.
Ok, entonces así para que él pueda ser un poco más ágil con el doctor Anders, entonces usted va viendo las diapositivas y si tiene preguntas de algún rubro, nada más levanta su manita, por favor, para
Ok,
que yo no esté
gracias.
deteniendo al doctor Anders. Ok,
gracias.
she's downloading the PowerPoint, and I only told her that if she had questions in regards to some of these items, just to raise her hand so I can translate and to make it the process faster for you.
Thank you. Perfect. What you'll see on this slide is a lot of programs or staff that support our English learners. So ELD instructional assistants, ELD specialists at our schools. Instructional assistants work in classrooms with teachers to support students. And the ELD specialists provide programming at each site and monitoring. Dual immersion are our classrooms in Spanish that are Spanish-English classrooms and have a significant number of English learners in those classrooms that speak Spanish. And then our last two here, I'll finish out the slide, is our ELD teachers at our secondary schools that help our English learners with English acquisition. And then our interpreters who are in our meeting tonight.
Bueno, simplemente es el enfoque. I apologize to Annette that we have to do this and that it's distracting for you. We were trying to find rooms to separate so we would be able to translate. So it won't be like this probably next meeting. So I apologize if I'm not being quick enough so that you can follow up. I will try to do my best, Annette, to make it agile for everyone. So my apologies. Señora, simplemente esta diapositiva es en relación o está enfocada a lo que son los alumnos del inglés. Y bueno, las últimas, o sea, usted puede ver que son, si usted lo ve en las diapositivas, simplemente está enfocado al personal que provee estos servicios a nuestros alumnos del inglés. Si tiene dudas, por favor, siéntase en la libertad de preguntarlo en el chat y aquí se lo aclaramos.
Gracias.
Okay.
And then we have a lot of other items that help our students, including response to intervention, so intervention programs, psychologists, and also professional development for all of our teachers.
Aquí a lo que nos enfocamos es principalmente al personal que provee servicios para salud mental, que son los psicólogos, y también, wait, I lost, which other one did you say, Robin?
The psychologists, intervention programs, and our professional development.
Y también muy importante el desarrollo profesional y bueno, todo lo que son los especialistas de intervención. Okay.
A big item in our plan is our English Learner Program, and this is our base program. So this is just the foundation, fundamental program we need to have in place to assist English learners.
Esto simplemente es la base del programa, esto es lo esencial, es como lo medular, que es lo que le da el origen a que este programa florezca. Entonces, aquí el personal que usted ve es lo mínimo con lo que contamos o los requerimientos que nos exigen como distrito tener para proveer servicios a los alumnos del inglés. Yes.
I want to make sure everyone in this meeting especially knows we cannot reduce that cost. We will always budget at least that amount towards this.
Esto es lo mínimo, que quede claro en esta junta, que esto es lo mínimo que podemos nosotros abastecer o financiar. No, esto sería algo que no podríamos recortar.
Notice that we switched from goal 1, which was our academic goal, to goal 2. And on goal 2, you see counselors, teachers, and other assistants that help our students and not just academically.
Bueno, como ustedes pueden observar, nosotros hicimos una transición entre la meta 1, que se enfocó a lo académico, a la meta 2, que aquí se puede ver más la parte emocional o mental. Por eso vemos mucho que en estos rubros se mencionan a los consejeros y otro personal.
Next slide includes our intervention specialists as well as specialized staff to help our foster at risk youth who are homeless.
Aquí vamos a ver todos los rubros de nuestros especialistas de intervención que ayudan a lo que se conoce como juventud en adopción temporal o los que son la juventud que está en riesgo.
All right. A question that came in the other meeting was, what do intervention specialists do? And it looks different depending on the site's needs. Some sites use them differently, but they all assist with attendance and helping kids get to school, behaviors at school and helping them stay in classrooms, and then also parent communication of working with parents to assist their child.
Bueno, aquí hubo una pregunta en juntas previas donde se preguntó a qué se dedican estos especialistas en intervención, y depende la escuela y depende la población que atienden. Pero para verlo de una manera muy global, lo que hacen los asistentes, los especialistas de intervención es apoyar a los alumnos en cuanto a asistencia escolar, comportamiento, lo que es la comunicación con los padres o la conexión, y también cómo reforzar a los padres para que puedan apoyar a sus hijos. Yes, Robin.
We've switched to goal 3, which is looking at staffing and high quality teachers. And so a lot of the work we do is supporting our staff in creating an environment that is very inclusive, that provides equity and supportive of our students' diversity.
De aquí nos hacemos una transición a la meta 3, en donde se enfoca más a la dotación de personal para crear o cumplir con el objetivo de crear un ambiente más inclusivo, equitativo y servir a estas poblaciones, porque tenemos un distrito muy diverso, ¿no? De muchas culturas.
So in our next LCAT meeting in December, which we'd like all of you to attend, is on December 13th at 6 p.m. It'll be virtual or in person. You can choose. We will discuss these items to prioritize and make decisions if we don't have enough funding, which ones we would no longer fund.
El 13 de diciembre será nuestra siguiente junta, en donde, como ya le mencioné, vamos a ver todo lo que son cada uno de estos rubros y los vamos a analizar a detalle, porque necesitamos determinar cuáles son prioritarios. Tenemos que tomar la decisión porque no vamos a tener los fondos suficientes. Entonces es muy importante y crítica esa junta para poder dar nuestros puntos de vista. Robin, would you allow me to just mention that there was the survey, or the survey is no longer available?
The survey's closed right now. We may survey in the spring again.
Okay. Okay.
So now that was the presentation for tonight. In the slides that Ms. Goldenberg shared, there's links to other resources, but I want to make sure we address any questions from the group.
Bueno, aquí termina mi presentación, entonces simplemente quiero tomar las preguntas en este momento que el grupo tenga ahora.
And Jen, are we, well, I'm sure we'll be on the agenda again later in the year.
Just about every meeting.
Yeah, okay. So take some time, familiarize yourself. If you can reach out to myself or any of our district office staff with questions about the plan. And we would love for your input at our LCAT meetings, but we will come back and visit you here in this committee as well to get input going throughout the year.
Bueno, pueden en cualquier momento, esto es algo activo, entonces ustedes pueden contactarme a mí directamente o cualquiera del personal que está en el distrito relacionado con esto, y vamos a vernos en las siguientes juntas. Entonces simplemente les pedimos que se familiaricen con el material.
Thank you so much. I'm putting in the chat the minutes from the last 2 meetings because we have 7 parents here. Woohoo! And that's the minimum so that we can approve the minutes or make corrections if they need to be made. So if you could open the documents in the chat and take 3 minutes to briefly look at them.
Señora, le sugiero que baje las minutas porque parte de nuestras regulaciones, todas las juntas tienen ciertas regulaciones o lo que se conoce como, o estatutos que se conocen como bylaws, lo va a ver. Entonces necesitamos tener el quórum adecuado de papás para poder aprobar las minutas y no hemos podido en todas las juntas por falta de quórum. Entonces ha llegado el momento de votar. Entonces échele un ojito y aquí yo, cualquier pregunta, aquí estoy.
Ok, gracias. Pero ahorita solo me sale la figurita suya donde está el video, pero el resto ya no logro verlo. Solo se encuentra personas, no sé.
Si usted, I'm just explaining to her how to access the minutes while you guys see the minutes. Mire, señora, usted va a ver, abra el icono del chat y usted va a ver que la señorita Jen Goldenberg puso minutas del 12 de octubre y del 14 de septiembre.
Ah, no sé. Sí, chat, ok, ok. Pues,
Jen, I was going to make sure if there's no questions on LCAP, I'm going to go ahead and step
Oh.
away and help with childcare tonight. A 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. Ay, right?
Oh, that's so nice. Es que ya se va con sus niños, por eso está pidiendo ser excusado, señora Hernández.
Ok, si no en la próxima reunión yo hago la pregunta.
Si quiere, ponga su correo electrónico en el chat para que la señorita Goldenberg lo tenga y
Ok.
entonces ella vea la manera de hacerle llegar las cosas. Si tiene preguntas, ella habla perfecto español, entonces.
Oh, no perfecto, pero gracias. So do I have somebody who can make a motion to, no, sorry. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
¿Hay alguna adición o tenemos que modificar las minutas? Es lo que está preguntando. Entonces aquí lo que hacemos es que necesitamos a alguien que haga una moción. Entonces alguien dice, por ejemplo, yo propongo hacer la moción para tal, tal rubro. Y entonces hay una persona que dice apoye dicha moción. Esas son las dinámicas de las juntas, señora Hernández.
Oh,
Ahorita lo va a ver.
So can I have somebody make a motion to approve the minutes as they are?
I'll do it. I make a motion to approve the minutes of which date?
It was October and September. September and October.
Del 12 de octubre del 2023 y del septiembre, creo que era 3, del
14.
14 de
Mhm.
septiembre del 2023.
Excellent. And Astrid put in a second in the chat. So all those in favor, either raise your hand or you can put I agree in the chat.
sí, solo me sale levantar la mano, luego sale aplaudir.
La mano,
Okay.
con la mano
Okay.
estoy.
Like this.
Sí.
Yay! Okay, that works too. Okay, thank you. Minutes approved. Woohoo! Now let's get to the
Lo
exciting
siento,
part.
solo que me cuesta un poco ver y eso creo que es un poquito difícil, pero gracias.
Claro que sí, señora. Tenemos aquí toda la paciencia y tranquila. Está aprendiendo todo.
You said all the patience in the world? I don't know. I'm kidding. Okay.
Bueno,
Well,
ahora vamos a seguir a lo que tenemos en la agenda, señora.
Sí.
sorry, I don't know why it did. 'Cause I clicked on it, right? Hang on. So there we go. Are we back to seeing my slideshow? Yeah, perfect. Okay. So what I'll do is have our translators translate these slides, post them on the website, and I will email them to all of you. And then you can click on the links here if you'd like.
Bueno, lo
So,
que vamos a hacer es que esto lo van a mandar a traducir y entonces usted va a presionar en cada uno de los enlaces para poder ver las diapositivas de la junta. Lo va a mandar a todos, señora, entonces estése pendiente Y asegúrese de mandarle el correo a esta Jen para que la tengan en archivo.
Tengo que
Thank you.
mandarlo en el chat, me dijo, ¿verdad, señorita?
Ujú. Sí,
Ok,
señora.
gracias.
Ujú.
Yes, if anyone else could put their emails in the chat, then I can more quickly grab them and email you all. Okay, so part of our job as DELAC is to review parent notifications, which are parent letters. So I just wanted to review quickly this one letter. It's going to go out in January.
Bueno, estas son las notificaciones que realizamos anualmente a los padres, específicamente sobre la administración sumativa del ELPAC, que es una evaluación, y queremos ahorita revisar dicha notificación.
So, oh, here we go. The summative LPAC, just in case people are new and have only know about the initial LPAC, the summative is taken every year and it assesses listening, speaking, reading, and writing.
Bueno, para los que son nuevos en familiarizarse con esta prueba, es enfocada al dominio y la fluidez que se tiene sobre el idioma inglés y es anual. Y lo que evalúa es escuchar, hablar, lectura y comprensión y también redacción.
So, oh, and you already said that part too. You're so good, Nuria. So the testing window opens on February 1st. It closes May 31st. We are out of school before that though. And it measures progress in learning English. And it's required of our English learners until the student is reclassified. So although I said every year, I really mean every year until they're reclassified.
Bueno, la ventana en que se aplica dicha prueba es del 1 de febrero al 31 de mayo, pero evidentemente en el caso de nuestro distrito, nosotros ya salimos de la escuela. Lo que mide, bueno, ya le platiqué, es cómo se desenvuelve el alumno en el inglés. Y este examen se requiere o es obligatorio cada año hasta que el alumno se reclasifique, que eso implica que ya tiene dominio y fluidez en el inglés.
Oh.
Yes, and so there's no waiver or exemption from the test in its entirety. We do have a few students who, through their IEP, which is a special ed, individualized education program, they can not take certain parts of it, but the team needs to decide that. So it's very rare.
Bueno, como le dije, es obligatorio. Evidentemente, como todo tiene sus excepciones. Por ejemplo, un alumno que tenga un programa educativo individualizado puede ser exento de ciertas partes, pero eso se tiene que tratar con cada equipo, o sea, con el equipo que arma su plan individualizado.
And the goal, thank you, the goal for all of our students is to score a 4 on it because that's the top proficiency level. There's 4 proficiency levels and 4 is what is required by the state for reclassification.
Entonces, en promedio, se tiene que tener un puntaje de 4, que es lo más alto, y esto es lo que dictamina el Estado en general, lo que nos exige para poder reclasificar a los alumnos del inglés.
Okay. So the next thing is, this is the actual letter, and it's basically saying we are committed to, you know, providing a high quality education for kids in diverse backgrounds. And the points of this paragraph I wanted to point out, are that we've already said this though, so we don't need to repeat it, that it's about how the language is measured. This part, the voice will be recorded. It's because during speaking, we hit record, we say something, we ask a question, the student responds, and then we end the recording and go to the next page. And they use that to double check test scores, not for, it's to see if we are being, oh my gosh, what's it called? Anyway, so that just to make sure that we're
consistent and accurate.
Thank you. Goodness gracious. Go ahead.
So you record the question, the answer, and then pause, and then to the next question.
Mhm.
Okay. Bueno, en general, para no tener que leer la carta esta, seguramente usted ya la recibió, pero lo que nos tenemos que enfocar, como parte de lo que ya hablamos en la diapositiva anterior, ¿no? De cómo miden a los estudiantes, la única parte que está aclarando es donde dice que los niños van a ser grabados. Entonces, lo que quiere aclarar la señorita Goldenberg es que la manera como se aplica esto, porque todo el mundo dice, ay, van a grabar a mi hijo, ¿no? Es que hacen a la pregunta y entonces responde el estudiante y ponen pausa a la grabación. Y simplemente la finalidad de esto es de supervisar o es como un seguimiento, dar seguimiento a cómo se están desenvolviendo ¿cómo se llama? El personal docente, para ver cómo se desenvuelven, si están cumpliendo con los objetivos. Es simplemente para monitorear eso, no es para poner en evidencia a su hijo que no sea confidencial.
Yeah. So the other thing is that the scores help us, it'll help your child's teacher determine if your child needs extra help and in which areas, and also lets us know when a student is ready to be reclassified.
Y bueno, también esto es para determinar que si necesita ayuda adicional o si ya está preparado para reclasificación.
Thank you. And then the next part of it, let's see. Oh, that because people still come down with COVID, they come down with other, colds, things. We are following the local health and safety requirements when we give the test. That's all. And if they have questions, here are the people to call.
Bueno, como todavía seguimos con el famoso COVID, pues entonces aquí esa es la parte donde ponen unos requerimientos en cuanto a seguridad y salud y la información que ve en la parte inferior es a quién contactar al respecto. ¿Sí? La escuela, personal y cuál es su información de contacto.
Exactly. So that's the long and the short of the LPAC. You'll be getting the letters in January. And that's it. Are there any questions about it?
Bueno, ahorita van a, what month did you say, I'm sorry?
January.
Van a recibir estas cartas en enero, entonces para que se estén pendientes. Y bueno, si no hay más, alguna pregunta, inquietud, comentario, vamos a pasar al siguiente rubro de la agenda.
I'm looking at your faces to see if anyone has a question about the test.
¿Tiene
Or about-
preguntas, señora, del examen que quisiera expresar?
Whoops.
No.
No questions on this side.
Excellent. Okay, then we're going to have Mona share, and so that you can see her face better, I'm going to stop sharing. Stop where is it? There we go. No, wait.
Bueno, ahorita
And
vamos a ver el reporte de comités, que en este caso va a
There we
ser
go.
la señora Moneslek, que ella es la representante del Consejo de PTA, que es la Asociación de Padres de Familia y Profesores. ¿Usted sabe qué es eso?
No.
May I please explain to her what PTA is, because she doesn't understand, so she can link what you're going to talk about? Bueno, lo que es la Asociación de Padres de Familia y Profesores es una asociación que tiene el principal enfoque al beneficio o son servicios de abogacía, que es obviamente a través de voluntariado, todo es voluntario. Y esta asociación busca representar a nivel local y a nivel estatal todos los derechos del niño. Ese es el principal enfoque. Entonces, todo circunda alrededor de eso. Y la señora Moneslek, ella es la representante de este comité ante el consejo. Entonces, lleva el informe de todo lo que platicamos, cuáles son las cosas que se necesitan, etcétera. Entonces, ella viene a platicarnos también del lado contrario, qué es lo que está haciendo el comité. Principalmente eso nos llevaría mucho tiempo si yo le explicara todo, pero en esencia se unen padres de familia, miembros de la comunidad y también profesores para idear la mejor forma de servir a los niños a través de esta asociación a través de las escuelas, que en este caso es el distrito. Pero en esencia es eso, y bueno, ya le platicaríamos después a detalle. Ujú.
Gracias.
Okay, Mona, go for it.
Okay. I have echo. Wait a minute.
We hear you clearly. Or,
You hear me correctly?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I will be brief because I need to bring my daughter to dance tonight. But at Burbank Council PTA, well, the president has met with Dr. Paramo, the superintendent, regarding the parent-to-parent event. We have a project at Burbank Council PTA to organize a parent-to-parent meeting this year, or an event this year, and we would like to focus on families of English learners and newcomers in Burbank. And so we're preparing, so we have had the approval from Dr. Paramo to start working on that. We should meet with him either by December or early January in order to propose our plan. And well, something I will share with you that is not yet validated is the way we see the event. We think that it would be it would take the format of how do you say that, a day where the parents could come and visit different booths, where we would like to have community partners to be present, like I listed them here, like the Burbank Public Library, Parks and Recs, Burbank Family Service Agency. Of course, we would like, we think that it would be awesome to have the school represented, the PTA units also. Well,
Mona, let me
sorry,
explain.
Nuria,
Let me translate.
I can't hear you.
Let
She
me
was saying that
translate.
she
Oh,
needs
okay.
to translate, sorry.
Go ahead.
Bueno, lo que está diciendo es, nuestra Miss Leck, es que a nivel consejo se reunió, yeah, the echo. I think you have to mute because I hear the echo. Ajá. El presidente del consejo se reunió, and please, Jen, if I miss something, let me know. Se reunió el presidente del consejo PTA con el doctor Paramo porque están viendo la posibilidad de lanzar un evento que se conoce como Padres con Padres. Este proyecto es un evento para conectar a los papás con la comunidad y con toda la red que hay. El enfoque es principalmente las familias de alumnos del inglés y también las familias de Burbank. El doctor, se van a reunir con el doctor Paramo ya nada más para ver la propuesta del plan y cómo, desde qué perspectiva ven el evento. Se está planeando que dicho evento sea de un día en donde van a poner varias como tienditas de campaña o como, ay, no tengo la palabra, donde ponen esos, pues ya ve cómo ponen sus mesitas en los eventos, como una tipo expo, en donde van a estar varios socios de la comunidad. Entre ellos pueden ser la agencia de servicios familiares de Burbank, puede ser la biblioteca, y evidentemente va a ser representado cada colegio a través de las PTAs de todos los colegios a nivel chiquito, digamos. And I think that's all. What do you think, Jen? Did I miss something?
No, that's good. And yeah, don't worry. You can
Okay.
keep going.
Mona,
Go ahead.
Mona, are you there? Mona. Ah,
Yes.
yeah. Sorry to interrupt. You said last about FSA and representing the local schools. So Who else?
Yes. That's the list we have. We're working on that. Sorry, I'm moving at the same time because I need to go and to go in the car and start driving. But I can still talk. So yes. So
And it's
this-
okay, Mona, if you'd like to, we
Mhm.
can table the rest of it to the next meeting because it's already 7:02. And
Yes.
I apologize.
And we'll get the
Mona.
details at the next meeting.
Vamos
Yes,
a los
I think.
detalles.
No problem.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I will have more details anyway at the next meeting. But we're working on it.
Okay, thank you, Mona.
Thank
Bueno,
you
la
very much.
esencia es que vamos a pasar esto a la siguiente junta porque ya son las 7:02. Entonces, nada más lo que ella dijo último es que está trabajando, colaborando con esto.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm sorry
Gracias
we're
a todos.
over. I am so sorry I set up the meeting incorrectly. I forgot I have to do some other things in order to set up the translation. I promise to do it correctly next time.
Simplemente es que, por lo general, señora, lo que está diciendo es que está, bueno, se está disculpando porque el formato que deberíamos de haber hecho es haber tenido las salas separadas para poder tener traducción. Entonces, que simplemente una disculpa, ella lo va a tener listo la próxima reunión para que usted presiona el mundo color gris y ahí encuentre el canal de español.
Muchísimas gracias. Usted ha sido una gran ayuda para mí.
Gracias, señora. Pues entonces regrese el 13 de diciembre porque hay que votar y ver qué de las metas de LCAP son prioritarias. Entonces tiene que estar en esa junta. I'm just saying that she has to be at the meeting December 13 because it's critical because we need to decide what is priority in the LCAP goals.
True, although I do say that we can
There's
Well,
multiple meetings
we're-
coming up on the LCAP, not just that one.
Thank
There's
you.
4 or 5 more after that. So
so
Y
it's
hay cinco
okay.
más. Hay cinco
Yeah.
más que tiene que ir.
And every time that there's a meeting there, we bring the same information to
Yes.
this group. So I'm going to stop recording and